Alright, welcome back to my channel. So my name's Dave, and I have this YouTube channel called DJV Outdoors, which is my initials, and I make sort of outdoor videos and sort of wild camping videos and kit reviews, that sort of thing. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. That would really help me out. I'm quite a new channel. And also, if you like the video at the end, just click the like button. That would be great. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Wainwright's Coast to Coast. Just a little bit of tips and advice of how to do it, you know, how to have the best time out of it. So it's a walk that I did at the end of August. So it's 192 miles, and it starts at a place called St Bees, which is in Cumbria, which is actually on the Irish Sea, and it goes all the way across to the North Sea on the other side of the country. So you get to go through some fantastic landscape. You go through the Lake District for about 4 or 5 days, the Yorkshire Dales, and then finally over to the North Yorkshire Moors. And it's a very, very popular walk. You know, people come from all over the world to do it, and there's various different options to walk it. You can obviously use a baggage transfer company, which is actually what I did, which I wasn't intending to do. I was actually supposed to do this at the back end of May. But unfortunately, I was diagnosed with a benign sort of tumour in my back, which is actually on my spine and pressing on my nerves, and I couldn't walk, couldn't lie down. It was by far the worst time in my life, but I had an operation, and you know, that's all done and dusted. I'm back, and I went and walked the coast to coast. Believe it or not, I couldn't walk literally a few months ago, and then I went and did the coast to coast, and I was really sort of pretty happy with myself, really, because it's been quite a horrendous time before that, obviously, with this thing I had in my back. So yeah, I used coast to coast pack horse. So I had to use this baggage transfer company because I had an operation on my back. I thought, well, I want to do the coast to coast. I had to spend a little bit of money doing it, but I had a fantastic experience. They organised everything. They transferred my bag each day. When I got to my first B&B at St Bees, there was a little sort of welcome package for me, and with all the accommodation leaflets and tags and everything that I needed really for the coast to coast. They even supplied a little map, which was brilliant, and I'll put a link in the description below to them. But that's one way of doing the coast to coast. You can obviously book your own accommodation. So the coast to coast pack horse, I paid a fee, and everything was booked up. I stayed in some fantastic like hotels and B&Bs, places through the Lake District, through the Yorkshire Dales and North Yorkshire Moors. You can obviously book your own accommodation. You don't have to go through somewhere like the pack horse. You can just book it all up yourself, which is what a lot of people do. Or you can wild camp it, which was actually the intention that I was going to do. So I backpacked the West Highland Way a couple of years ago in Scotland. Had a fantastic time with that, and that was my intention really with the coast to coast. Didn't happen because of what I had to, the operation that I had. Basically, I had to have a light bag on me really, so I just had a day bag on me. But as I say, you can wild camp this, you can backpack it, so you can take your camping gear and you can stay in campsites. There's campsites en route. A lot of people obviously wild camp through the Lake District, so there's various different options really. But in this video, I just really wanted to give you my 10 sort of pieces of advice. So I've got them just on my iPhone here. So let's have a look. So, okay. So my first sort of tip would be to try to do it in about 12 days. So a lot of people try to do it in 9 and 10 days, and I see them on the videos at Robin Hood's Bay, and the first thing they say is, wow, you know, I've done it in 10 days, amazing. But I would say to do it in about 12 days, because by doing it in 12 days, you get to spend more time on the walk, and you get to spend an extra day in the Lake District, to give you an example. Also, if you do it in anything less than sort of 12 days, you're probably going to have to do that stretch from Grasmere to... No, not from Grasmere, from sort of the Borrowdale Valley to through Grasmere to Patterdale in one. So you have to go from sort of Borrowdale to Patterdale in one. That's a long, tough day through the Lake District, especially if the weather's really bad. So try to do it an extra day. So my mileage days were quite low through the Lake District. You know, I did sort of, I think, 7 miles from Stones Weight over to Grasmere or something like that, and then the next day to Patterdale was about the same. And you know, I got to walk on the trail quite slowly and just enjoy all the landscape in the Lake District. It was absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful place. It was the first first proper sort of time I've been in the Lake District. So highly recommend to take some time to do the coast to coast. I did meet someone on the coast to coast that was doing it about 14-15 days, and she sort of fed back that because she's doing less mileage, she got to places very quickly, and I think she was pretty super fit in that, so she was getting to places quite quickly, and then kind of felt maybe she should have done it in about 12 days possibly. So a little bit of advice on that, but yeah, I'd say do it in about 12 days. That way you can obviously experience the walk along where you're not in a rush to get to your destination. And you're just going to have a fantastic time through the Lake District. You're going to want to stop to take photos and all that sort of thing. Maybe stop in Grasmere for a bite to eat, you know, whatever. But the less time you do it, the better, right? Okay, so moving on to tip number 2. So consider the B&B option. So, you know, I stayed in some fantastic hotels and B&Bs, certainly through the Lake District and the Yorkshire Dales, and yeah, all the way through really. All the accommodation was fantastic. So the Pack Horse, they're obviously a very experienced company because I had a fantastic stay in every single place. That was like 12 nights. So I would definitely consider, if you're going to do this walk, if you want the best experience possible, do something like that. Spend a bit of money. Take a lighter bag, and then use a baggage transfer company like the Coast to Coast Pack Horse, or there's the Sherpa van, I think, as well, to do it. You know, but maybe wild camping is your thing, you know, and that's great. I mean, I definitely, if I go back and do it again, I'd probably like to try to do maybe a bit of B&B and camping, possibly. But I don't always sleep too well when I do. Obviously, when I go camping, you're not always guaranteed a good night's sleep, and you know, I've been on the West Highland Way where I've had a terrible night's sleep, and I've had to walk the next day, and it's ruined me. So I would say, if you're doing something like this, it's a 2-week walk, so you might want to consider definitely staying in B&Bs, which is exactly what I did. And there's some fantastic places to stay. They do get booked up very quickly, so you really need to keep an eye on the accommodation, because it gets booked up very quickly, because this is such a popular walk. But yeah, I definitely recommend to do. So I've had to come back down here now. I had to come and sit on the floor because the lights. I put my camera by the window in this hotel room, and it's pretty bright. So okay, so yeah, as I was saying, take an extra day in the Lake District. You know, you won't regret it. Definitely, that's definitely something I would highly recommend. Tip number 4. So take decent kit. So waterproofs, go out and get a decent waterproof jacket. If you're going to be doing the coast to coast, you might be walking through the Yorkshire Dales for 8 hours, and it might be torrential rain, and you don't want a cheap Mac in a sack. You know, you want to get something decent, maybe by Rab or Montaigne. I would highly recommend getting a decent waterproof system there. So definitely decent waterproof trousers, decent waterproof jacket, and I'd highly consider getting a pair of sealskin waterproof socks. So I wear trail runners, so I wear Ultra. I'm a big fan of Ultra. They've got a nice wide toe box on my feet. Size 11 feet, so quite big, but my toes can spread out. Ultra fantastic. I've got the Ultra Lone Peak all-weather mids, which I'll put a card up to a couple of videos actually. One where I reviewed them out the box, and also a video where I used them after the coast to coast, and I give my sort of thoughts of how they were. They were brilliant. My feet were dry. I didn't really even use the sealskin socks because it wasn't raining at all. Had really good weather. So take some decent gear. Do you want boots? Do you want trail runners? Go and try some stuff on. Don't go and buy a pair of walking boots off eBay or Amazon. Try them on first. Highly recommend it. Your feet are so important. I'm going to talk about Footcare in tip number 10 actually, so we'll come back to that. But get a decent rucksack. Osprey, very good packs. Again, I've done some videos on that as well. You might want to check those out. decent waterproofs, you know, clothing, underwear, decent pairs of walking socks. Bridgedale, highly recommended. So so that would be my tip number 4. Don't just take basic gear. Get some decent stuff. You know, get some decent gear. You're out in the wilderness, on the coast to coast for 2 weeks, so you need to make sure your game is high on waterproofs. Your game is high. I don't know what that is. That even a saying? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Just get some decent gear. And you know, I've started to go. I've went from sort of, you know, using sort of very sort of cheap gear to I'm getting some more premium stuff. You don't necessarily need to do the outdoors on premium. You know, I use an H-Hike tent for an example. When I do wild camping, that's budget. So, but just do some research. You know, do some research. But you know, a Rab or a Montane, I'd say for keeping you dry would be highly recommended. There's other quality brands, but those are the 2 that come to mind. Berghaus, Low Alpine, I guess they make jackets. I don't know. All right, so number 5. Now this is a big one. Be map and compass proficient, and I'd highly recommend also getting the OS Maps app. Massively recommend it, actually. If you've got obviously a smartphone, download the OS Maps app, and you put the Wainwright's coast to coast route on your phone, and it's brilliant. I used it. Yeah, most of the time on the coast to coast, and it got me everywhere. It didn't fail me once. It was absolutely brilliant. Is it 20 quid, 20, 30 quid for the year? And it's very, very easy. You set up an account, and then you can download the GPX file off Google, and then you can just drag it into the routes thing on the OS Maps, a desktop app, and then it syncs up with the phone. So, but failing that, obviously technology doesn't always work for you. So you need to be map and compass proficient. Get the A to Z coast to coast route on the 1 to 25,000 scale mapping, and yeah, do it. I'd recommend doing a compass navigation course before you go if you don't know how to do it. Because if your phone fails you and you're in the mountains and it's 0 visibility, then you're screwed. You know, I've been lost on Penny Van before, and I came down the wrong side of Penny Van in fog on New Year's Eve 2019. What was I doing up there on New Year's Eve? I've no idea. But I had to get a group of I met a group of walkers who took me to the Brecon Mountain Centre, brought them some coffee and cake, and they drove me all 45 minutes around because I got lost because my game wasn't on the map and compass and back then. But you know, for the coast to coast, it's very badly waymarked. You need it, especially going over the 9 standards from Kirkby Stephen over to Keld. You're going over the peak bogs, the 9 standards. There's no proficient path. You're going to be jumping bogs. You'll have a fun day on that one. That's a really, really good day. That you'll enjoy it. I did. Had good weather for it, but there's no path, and you need to have your navigation. So, highly recommend that. Well, I don't recommend it. It's an absolute essential, mate. So I can call you mate. It's absolutely essential for. Oh no, I've deleted my. Oh mate, I've just deleted my. Say no. Sorry about that. Right. Oh no. I don't believe it. I've deleted the tips. Would you believe this? Or is it here? No. Okay. Oh, there it is. No, sorry, is it? All right. So let's get back to the list. So number 6. You know, you don't have to do this, but I'd follow the little traditions. The Wainwright sacred tradition is dipping your feet in the Irish Sea at the start, taking a pebble, and taking it over to the North Sea and chucking it in. That's exactly what I did. Maybe there's a clip up on here now of that. That is tradition at the start of the coast to coast. You can initiate your walk, and it's very special. You know, it's a romantic sort of thing, and it's very, very sacred to the coast to coast. So highly recommend. Tip number 7, make sure you train for it. Now, you don't need to be super fit to do the coast to coast, but you need to have some sort of base level of fitness to walk. You know, you're going to be doing at least 9-10 miles every day through the Lake District. Then you might be doing some longer days up to 20 miles. You know, I did a 20 miler from Ingleby Arncliffe over to the North Yorkshire Moors, across to the Lion Pub. That was a tough train for it. That's tip number 7. Tip number 8, take less food. There's a lot of pubs and stuff, a lot of convenience shops and things. You don't need to take too much food. It probably appeals more to the wild campers out there. You don't need to take lots and lots of food, guys. There's a lot of convenience shops, pubs, restaurants and all that sort of thing. So that's going to be good for your weight. You're going to be taking less weight. A lot of people do wild camp it, say they didn't need to take so much food. So take less food. Tip number 9, appreciate every moment of it. Yeah. So, I mean, that all comes down to doing it in more days. Just appreciate everything about it, because it was the best thing I've probably ever done. It definitely did some good for for me. You're out in nature for 2 weeks, and it's all you can focus on. You can't focus on anything else apart from each day on that walk. And look, oh my God, look at that view of Borrowdale. I was stunned by the views in the Lake District, and I just felt so good. So welcome back. Tip number 7. It's the next day now. Ran out of battery in that hotel room, so I'm back home and just carried on. So on to tip 7, and that is to train for the coast to coast. You need to have some sort of base level of fitness to do this. You don't need to be super fit, but you need to have a couple of days of long distance treks behind you. I'd say go out and do multiple weekends of sort of at least 9 or 10 miles, and then get up on Sunday and do it again. I'd say do a month's worth of that at least. Now, a lot of people say, well, you get fit on the coast to coast, and yeah, I totally agree with that. You'll definitely get fit on the coast to coast. If not, you'll lose a stone. Like I think I lost about a stone of weight or something ridiculous. You need to prep yourself for doing 192 miles if you've never done it before, and you need to get your body sort of, what's that saying? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. I remember that. So that's completely true with this. You need to go out and do some hikes, do some running, do some cycling, do something to get your body sort of warmed up for the coast to coast. Because if you just fly blind and you just go for it with no sort of base level of fitness, then you risk getting injured, and you risk pulling out early. So just be mindful of that. I do agree you will get, you can get fit on the walk, but you need to have some sort of, you need to get your body just used to doing sort of 9 or 10 miles a day, over a sort of 3-4 week period. So tip number 8, so take less food. So this really appeals to more if you're camping. So I saw a lot of, there's a lot of pubs on the coast to coast. There's places to get food, definitely in the evenings, depending if you're wild camping out. There's convenience stores in places like Kirby Stephen. Where else? Shap. I think there's a store in Shap. There's a fish and chip in Shap. I didn't get to experience those. It's meant to be great, but there's places to get food on the route. And I think a lot of people that wild camp it say, I took too much food, didn't need to take so much food. So you don't need to take that much food. It's probably worth getting the Trailblazer guidebook, because that's going to help you in terms of finding places to eat and stuff. But because I was staying at a B&B in a hotel every night, there was either a place to go and get some food, or where I was staying they do an evening meal, and I'd always get breakfast in the morning. So but it's quite well served. It's not like extremely remote sort of trail where there's not a lot of facilities en route. It's pretty well served with towns and villages, especially at Richmond, the major town on the coast to coast. There's everything there, so except McDonald's. So you don't need to take as much food, so that'll keep your pack light, especially if you're camping. So tip number 9, not really a tip, but try to appreciate every moment of doing the coast to coast. Every day is special on that walk. It's a fantastic, incredible walk. As I've already sort of mentioned, as you've probably hopefully seen some of the footage, and hopefully you've seen my coast to coast series, or I think I went down 4 or 5 days of it as I shoot this. I haven't even put out the rest of it, but just try to appreciate it, and you can appreciate it more by doing it in more days, like I said. You'll enjoy it a lot more if you do it in sort of 12 days versus 9 or 10. So just try to appreciate where you are, and you'll come back, you'll do the coast to coast, and you'll kind of be motivated to do the next adventure. That's what everyone sort of says. As soon as I finished the coast to coast, I was like, what am I going to do next? And I met up with a great group of people who I'd never met, and we did a wild camp in Sprinkling Tarn, in the Borrowdale Valley. It's like I want to go keep this going. So it'll change you, definitely. It'll get you out of reality for sort of 2 weeks, and it'll get you it's complete mindfulness. You're in nature, and all you can think about and focus about is your surroundings. And wow, look at that mountain, in the Lake District, and then you'll get to where you got to get to for the evening, and you just feel really, wow, what a day that was. So just appreciate it, and as I say, it will change you. You will be motivated. You'll get this kind of feeling you want to do something. What's the next adventure? I think even Wainwright says, what's next? It's at the end of the guidebook. I'm not sure. I have to check that out. But hopefully it will just carry on for you to maybe take up a new sport, or join a walking club, or do something positive in terms of your sort of everyday lifestyle. It is going to change you. It's going to have an effect. It's going to have some sort of an effect on you. There's no question about it. It's all about doing something like the coast to coast. It's kind of it's just self-development, isn't it? It grows you as a person. It grows your sort of it shows you what you can do, what you're capable of, where sometimes you might doubt yourself. You can, when you do something like that, you think, God, what else can I do in life? It's stuff like it's what it does for you. If you've done long distance walks, you know what I'm talking about. So my final tip is Footcare. So I've got a few years of experience in terms of sort of backpacking trips, and I've learned some things for Footcare, and I didn't really get any blisters on the coast to coast. Nothing that I had where I had to pull out or tap out. So the first thing I've sort of said earlier is get decent footwear. Either you're going to do it in hiking boots or trail runners. You need to go and try get the perfect fit. And if you're doing trail runners, especially if you're going to go for the ultras, which is what I recommend. I'm not sponsored by Ultra, but if I was, I'd be singing their praises all day long, because they're fantastic. They work for me. It's not for everyone. You might want a hiking boot, but you need to go half a size up in ultras, because your feet swell up, obviously, and stuff like that. So yeah, you need to just really find out what works for you, and go and try some stuff on, and don't go and order a pair of boots you've never tried on from eBay, which is what I did. I got terrible blisters and all that. Decent pair of socks. Is that going to be Bridgedale? Probably Bridgedale socks are very good. Get some sealskin waterproof socks for the coast to coast. Definitely get those. Keep your feet dry. It's all about keeping your feet dry. Wash them in the evening. I washed my feet every night. I put talcum powder on my feet to absorb all the moisture, and I put some just sort of foot cream on. You can just get, I don't know what foot cream I use, but you can get foot cream. Just moisturize your feet every evening as well. Just take care of them, because if you do that every night, then it's gonna go a long way for you not getting any blisters. But you need to take care of your feet. So decent pair of boots or trail runners. Bridgedale socks. Take 3 pairs of socks, alternate each day. Don't wear the same socks every day, alternate. Get a pair of those sealskins, definitely, or 360 dry, do some, which I hear are supposed to be really good as well. And get some moisturizing foot cream. Wash your feet every night, cut the nails, all that sort of stuff. Just take care of them, and you can go a long way to relieving or not getting any blisters. Sorry, just not having any blisters or any trouble with your feet. So that's it. And also take breaks. Make sure to stop and take breaks, and that goes with the foot care routine. Take your socks off, air your feet as well. So those are my 10 tips, guys. I hope you found them useful. If you're planning to do the coast to coast next summer, or whenever, it's one of the best things I've ever done. It was very tough, because I was on the back of this thing that I had to have done to me, and it was of course we got a lot of soreness and stuff, but I had an amazing experience. I met some incredible people, and you know, you'll have a fantastic time on it. If you're thinking of doing it, definitely do it. And I hope these sort of tips help you. And that's all there is to say on it, really. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That'd be great. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to get the notifications. I'm posting videos. You know, I want to at least get one out every week. You know, I'm really committed to this channel, and I'm going to be getting out and do some wild camps this winter. Looking forward to that. I've already got some videos on there, so check those out. But leave me any comments below if you're doing the coast to coast, any questions about anything. You know, always happy to answer. But I'll see you in the next video, and take care.